Want to see some of your chart work, but before we get into that, can you just tell us a little bit of your trading strategy, maybe your
hmm
technical analysis? Do you use any fundamental analysis? I see sometimes you post some economic calendars, so can you just give us just that little background on your technical trading or your trading strategy, and even let's look at dive into a chart.
Okay, sounds good. So, my trading strategy is very simple. I only use supply and demand, volume, price, and VWAP. That's basically it. So, everything revolving around volume and price is what I use. I keep it simple. I don't use any indicators, no moving averages, no pivots, no nothing like that. So, I just like to keep it simple just because the way that supply and demand works is you're able to see if buyers or sellers are in control or if the market is balanced in a way, so you can say, okay, I'm not going to trade this day, or hey, I think this stock is balanced right now between buyers and sellers, so I want to be able to see if it can break out of this consolidation. So just being able to read price with your eyes is probably the best tool that you can use. And also your brain
Right,
is a very underrated tool in the market, because I
right.
think a lot of people want to rely on these indicators, and they want to rely on a lot of these studies that not work in a way, but they're just kind of laggy behind price, which
Mm-hmm.
is why I think the brain is the most important tool that you should be using in the market.
Right, right.
hmm
Now, do you even like have to watch out for federal meetings? Like, do you like keep up with the economic calendar based on your trading? Like, I just won't trade that day. Like, how do you do on as far as your economic calendar or the
Um,
economic calendar?
Yeah, so I just keep up with the economic calendar just for my knowledge, and as well as other people who are interested in what the Fed is trying to talk about. Usually, you can just see how the stock reacts to a certain news, and I guess that's really important when it comes to being able to identify price. So I know today it was a pretty tough morning just because we had a fake breakout, and then we had a little bit of sell off, but then we kind of reversed and then we went back up again. And so I think even with like all the news last night about like that the economic, what is it, like the economic events, or even the economic environment that's
Mm-hmm.
going on right now, I think it's really important to take into consideration, that even though we were at all-time highs for ES and for NASDAQ.
Mm-hmm.
So I think just being able to have knowledge of what's going on economically is really going to influence, like, hey, I think we should be watching for this just because it is important. It does relate to stocks, or it does relate to the dollar index, or even the VIX. I think it's a really good thing just to keep like basic knowledge of.
Okay, good.
hmm
And can we look at a chart? Any chart is fine. And just give us that
yeah
breakdown
so
of price, action, supply, demand. It'd be really good for the
yeah
viewers.
hmm for sure. So like I said, I like to keep it simple. There's this, I think you guys can see my screen, right?
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah, cool. So this hot pink line right here is VWAP. That's basically what it's just weighted volume and price. At the bottom here, I have this indicator that tells you how many buyers and sellers on a certain candle. You can switch your time frame if you
Wait,
want, so you can.
time out. Time out. Okay, I that is a life hack. I did not know about this. Is that a personal indicator on you for TradingView?
No, I have a personal one on Thinkorswim, but this one is public, so you can just search up the indicators. Here, I'll give you guys a little freebie.
I'm
So
saying because
people who ever watch this, so this is going to be the
what?
buying, yeah, the buying selling volume by Sihan,
Oh my
and
gosh!
it's a
Shouts out
public.
C
It's in
Hun.
the it's a public library, but it tells you, and then you can also go into the data window right here on
Mm-hmm.
the fourth tab from the right. And actually, if you hover over the candle, you can actually see how many buyers and sellers are on that candle. So just for this one, I can see that there's 1.76 million sellers and 309,000 buyers. And if you also lower the time frame, you can also see on each candlestick how many buyers and sellers are on each candle on a lower time frame. Or if you wanted to go higher, the same thing too,
Yeah.
which is really helpful. Yeah,
Wow.
you. Mm-hmm.
So like,
So yeah.
so you have your buy volume pressure or buying, yep, and then you have your chart up above. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then basically my supply and demand zones are marked by hand. So every night I'll probably take an hour or two just to go over my charts to see whether or not the market is in balance or it's imbalanced by buyers and sellers. And by that, I'll mark the areas where there are mostly sellers and also mostly buyers. These levels are really key and also really important just because you want to watch to see whether or not buyers or sellers will react to a certain price. So for example, right here, I kind of marked this area between 785 and also to 791 as a key area, just because previously buyers had stepped in, and you can see right here buyers kind of stepped in to bring Nvidia back up. And also today, when we gapped down last night, we gapped down right into that area, and so this is a really crucial area to watch for. And so that's why I believe that supply and demand zones are honestly so key to trading.
Right.
Just because you want to see where institutions and also big money or big whales are trying to buy in or sell out at a certain stock.
So I know this is your interview, but this is a Fibonacci moment potentially. Can you please go to, you know where Fibonacci is?
Yeah,
okay.
I used to use Fibonacci a lot, and I still kind of do.
Because I'm the Fib technician on Twitter, guys. So I'm sorry, but this is just a moment. Can you point at the top at the all-time high right there? Yep. And then go down to the wick that we just had this morning.
This one.
Yep. That resistance at 0.382, the 382, the 0.5, and the 0.618. Good shorts on that kind of new trend direction of going down. So that's just a little moment right there. I just wanted to make sure I saw a little Fibonacci event where you have those big sell-offs, and so happens at that 0.382, that middle cluster can be good short opportunities. You can go ahead and take that off. That I really don't want to push the fib too much, but I live by the fib.
I honestly love the fib. Before I even found supply and demand zones, this is what I would live by. So that's why you see the additional level. So I know Nvidia, when it hit all-time highs, I was kind of using fibs to kind of draw where take profit, even if it broke all-time highs, and that's why I have these additional levels. So the 0.27 and the 0.618.
Yep.
I love fibs. I love fibs so much. I think it's super helpful too.
Yes, perfect. Is there, and then also as far as your watch list goes, how do you draft up a watch list, especially as someone not knowing what to do in the markets?
So for me, I just look across all my charts on all different time frames, and I pay really close attention to the most volatile stocks, so mega caps. That's what I usually play. So Amazon, Tesla, Nvidia, BA, Roku, Facebook, any of those big cap stocks. Those are the ones I'm usually focused on, just because I am a scalper. I kind of am better with just in and out of trades within minutes or even within seconds. So I think that's kind of my cup of tea in the market. And so every night you just want to be looking at your charts to see if it's in a zone. If it's in a demand zone and there are strong buyers the next day, then you can go long on it. But then if there are strong sellers in a certain demand zone, then that means we could push the stock even lower. And that's just really crucial on identifying these zones, and also being able to find out where your position is, or at least where the market might be headed to, and you can find your support and your resistance levels.
Okay, cool. Thank you for that. And then just to close it up with just a few more questions. When it comes to charting, do you like the daily? Do you like the weekly? Or I see we're on the hour right now. Is there any preferences for that? And are you a long or short? You want to long, or do you want to short? What is your preference?
So when I chart my zones, or at least when I take a look at my graphs, I like to look on all these time frames. So the 1 day, 4 hour, 3 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour, the 90-minute is actually really helpful too. So 45, 30, and 15, those are what I usually chart my zones on. And then when I scalp, I usually use the 1, 3, and the 5, and also the 15.
Wow.
Yeah, and then sorry, your other question?
The other question was, are you now looking for long setups, short setups, or you're just like, man, I just want to make the money? Like, it could be either side.
It could be either side. I can play either direction. So that's why, like, I don't really specialize in swinging just because I want to sleep at night, you know? My swingers out there,
Right.
shout out to you.
Right.
Shout out to you. Because I can't swing for anything. I'll be up all night being like, oh my God, this market is so unpredictable, you know? Like, even though you trust your setup, I mean, one of my biggest regrets was Nvidia dipped back to maybe like 580s maybe like a month ago, something like that, and
Yeah.
I was supposed to take a long position, but I never did. But I wish I kind of did now. So I think I just specialize in scalping more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you don't really like to like hold positions, but I had a very bad situation. It was so bad to the point where I would actually sometimes wake up in the middle of the night and check Germany's market on that said asset. So if I was long Tesla, I would check Germany's price before even early pre-market starts. Like, it was ridiculous. So I understand that holding some options overnight and for weeks and months, that takes another type of individual. So that's really cool that you found your niche, find that scalping is what you need to do, etc. So just to close it out, is there any way that they can contact you? Should they, look at your big brains trading, etc.? And what do you expect for your brand throughout this year and next year on?
So I want to be able to grow my Instagram in a way where I can be able to at least offer people, hey, this is a piece of knowledge that you may find helpful. Maybe in the future I'll probably add more informational stuff and financial stuff, maybe about real estate, just because I am passionate about it. So I want to kind of use trading as a leverage to go pursue that real estate career as well. And so hopefully in the future I would just be able to make a positive impact on people's lives, whether it's through just talking about stocks, talking about options, maybe even real estate, or even talking about futures, through any way I can help people, or at least offer beginners who are wanting to get into the market like an easier step or an easier path that I wasn't able to get through, would be honestly the best thing that could ever happen to my page.
Okay. Cool. Yes, that making that impact really just it's priceless. I mean, sure, you can have paid courses, have paid info, but it's nothing like truly like saying, "Hey, Tiffany, I am now a better trader. Like, thank you so much," and you really did change someone's life. So should they get your Twitter or your Instagram in the link in the description for the video?
So in the description, you guys can find my Instagram, and also I'll tag my Twitter, but I forgot my handle, so I'll put that there too. Yes, so you guys can find me on Insta, Twitter. If you guys want to add me on Discord, that's fine too. I'm an analyst in a couple of servers as well. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Tiffany. I really appreciate it. We talked a little bit about your trading journey. We even mentioned some of your trading strategies, and even shouts out to the DJing community for my diamond hands out there. Hodl Nicola. Like, it might go up to 100 next day. You never know. So,
maybe.
Right, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. It was my very first stock, so.
Right. Buy your lottos right now. You'll be rich, man. Rich, guys. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys learned something, and I will see you all later. You have anything else for the team?
That's it. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you. See ya.